Okay, types of IDSs. There are host-based IDS, which operate on the host itself. They may interact more with the file system than just the packets flowing in and out of the network interface. There are network-based intrusion detection systems that are usually in promiscuous mode, looking at traffic flowing by them on the internet, on the network. And there are distributed IDSs, which are sort of a hybrid of the two. They are distributed around the network and they report back to maybe a single reporting station. There are different categories as well. There's anomaly-based and signature-based. We'll talk about them. And we'll talk also about some of the common problems. These problems are common to all IDS, not just any particular one in general. There are lots of false positives. The better IDS will have less false positives, which is basically an error that is reported when an insignificant event occurs. In other words, it is mistaken for a real attack. There are plenty of false positives. There are also a lot of false negatives. In other words, there's an error the error is not reporting a significant event or not recognizing it. So we'll see how that works. So host-based intrusion detection. Designed to protect a single host. There's no need to place the NIC in promiscuous mode because all we really care about is looking at the traffic coming in and out of this box. Now it also has access to critical files and system resources, and it will monitor them as well. More in demand now with the onslaught of encryption like IPsec and SSL. So system integrity verifiers. This is in a way an IDS. These monitor files and other resources on the system to make sure nothing has changed. They specialize in protecting critical files. Most hybrid, host-based intrusion detection systems implement some form of SIV or system integrity verifier as well. Tripwire, AID, these are the most common. They create hashes of important files and monitor to make sure they don't change. Now the steps to using Tripwire are to install Tripwire, to initialize the Tripwire database, get a baseline of the system, then periodically run Tripwire to check for any differences. It will be able to tell, not just because a file size has changed, or not just because a file name may have changed or location, but it can actually see the hashed value. So if one single binary bit has changed, then the Tripwire hash will be a mismatch, and it will know immediately that something is going on. Also inspect the Tripwire logs regularly. If it's not an alert, it may still give you quite a bit of information. Decide if there was a policy violation and act accordingly.